First, Nia is on top of the pyramid.
It's been a long time coming. I didn't think I would ever live to see this day.
You were on top of this pyramid because of your hard work and your determination all week long. To me, that's sometimes more important than any trophy, and you shined. Your mother isn't always here, but she does make sure that you're here. And you can see the improvement.
I'm very happy I'm on the top of the pyramid this week. Yay.
That's so funny. I don't think I'd ever seen That's so funny. That's actually so I never thought I would live to see the day.
Oh, that's so sad.
It didn't seem like you were.
You're listening to Big Sis Energy.
Welcome back to Big Sis Energy. I'm your host, Mackenzie.
And I'm your other host, Malia.
And today we have two very exciting special guests, Nia and Dr. Holly.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. Guys, we're so happy that you both had time, for one, to come in and talk to us.
I know.
I'm like,
Thanks
guys,
for having us.
so
Very
fun,
excited
of
to be
course.
here.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's been a long time coming.
I know.
We've been wanting to do this for a while, so
I
I'm so happy it's
know.
happening now.
Me too. And I'm like, the energy, the Big Sis energy.
Yeah.
I know.
I like it.
And so we met Nia in February in Wyoming.
Yes.
Randomly.
Randomly.
Random like brand trip event. That was actually our first brand trip, so we were super nervous.
I remember. I was asking, you were like, this is our first brand trip.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really exciting. I was like, this is a good brand trip to be on. If
That
this is your
is-
first
no,
one.
that
was the coolest one ever.
So fun.
And the fact that we like met you too, because I was like, she's so sweet and genuine, because I was like scared. I wasn't sure who was all gonna be there.
Yeah,
And I was like, you
same.
just were so welcoming and nice. So I was like,
Thank you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was very happy that we got to meet you and hang out a little bit. We did like a little get ready with me video. I don't know if you guys remember.
Crank it up.
Wait, can we? What are you? Yes. Oh yeah. I'm like, yeah. Like, why not? So we're getting ready for dinner.
Oh, we should do like a transition. Wait, I have one.
Oh,
I want to do
wait, yeah. What are we doing?
I might kill my ex.
Yes.
Okay.
But we did a little get
The
ready.
crowd
for-
went
That
wild.
was so cute. That was so fun.
cute. We need to do another one
That
of
was
those one day.
so fun. And
It
I was
was
like,
fun.
the music, the energy. I'm like, it was just a vibe.
It was a
great.
vibe.
It was
Like,
a
Yeah, and they were
vibe.
playing SZA, so there was Kill Bill. I was
She was tuned in.
I loved it. The whole transition was so cool. I'm like in everyone's business. So
The
yeah.
next time we have to have you in one too.
No, you don't really want that. But I'm like there. I'm like invested.
She said you don't want that.
You don't want
Like,
that.
but I'll watch from a distance.
Oh my
Have you
gosh.
guys been on any brand trips since then?
Yes. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a few.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
you guys
like
kinda
the
are getting
first
used
one,
to it?
and like it pushed us out of our comfort zone a little
Yes.
bit. And even because we're from Arizona, so we don't
Right.
really do a lot of like influencer events or like hang around content creators a lot. So
Right.
that time I was nervous. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like, because you never know how people are gonna be.
You
but
never know.
Yes.
Everyone was so nice, pleasantly surprised.
No,
so
and the whole
good.
team
Yes.
too. Like
That's
everyone
so
was so
nice.
cool.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Keels team.
Oh
They
yeah, they're
done
the
did it.
best. Yeah.
Done did
So
it.
The sweetest.
lovely.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then you,
Yes.
I slid into your DMs because I saw that you had blonde Fulani braids.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
Mackenzie told me about that, and she was like, I was like, she is eating it up. Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
I'm pretty sure, didn't you send your girl a picture of you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh
You're
my
my
gosh.
inspiration. I'm like, I'm like, there's a big age difference naturally. So I'm like, I'm not her age, but I want something that looks like that. I know I'm not going to look like you. You look amazing.
Thank you.
But I was like, that's
She
the
was
look
so
I was going for.
excited.
I was so excited.
She was so excited.
I slid up on your story,
I
and then
know.
you told me that. You were
Yeah.
like, I actually showed the braider
Yeah.
your picture. I'm like, me?
Yeah.
My picture?
You
They
were
look so good. They look so good.
You were the inspo, and I got so many great compliments for
Oh,
that.
well, good. I love the
Yeah.
Fulani
They're
braids.
so
They're
cute.
so
They're
cute.
I like how they're just like pulled back a
It's
little
so
bit.
pretty.
But I love them.
Because sometimes these, like, it hits my eyebrow.
Dude,
and the gel
they
doesn't...
hit the eyebrow and then
Yes.
it messes up my eyebrow.
they're always in your face. That's why I always have to pull them back a little bit, like have them in a half up or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
They're
I
always
know
kind of
that
like
pain.
with back a little
Yeah.
bit.
So it's like
But
one
because
strand,
if this
that's a
hair
rebel.
like hits my eyebrows, it doesn't do much. But since it's like it's a braid, there's more like
Yeah, they're
friction
like-
or something. I don't
and,
know.
well, it's a
like,
little heavier.
It's a little
Yeah.
heavier. It's like
Yeah.
Yes, because even with my curls, like sometimes they'll hit my eyebrows, but
They don't do anything.
it doesn't do much.
Yeah,
It
they
doesn't
don't
do much.
anything.
It doesn't do
it's
much.
not a
a big impact.
the braid. It's
Yeah, the braid.
There's some weight to it.
Yes, exactly. Oh well, let's get into this episode.
Dive into it.
Okay, so we got our first question for you guys.
Okay.
So Dr. Holly, what was young Nia's personality like? Like I'm talking
That's a good question.
in kindergarten, like on the playground. Like what was young Nia like?
That's good because I can barely remember.
She's like, I don't even know.
Delightful. Like it's just like that little kid that would light up the room. Just bright, big eyes, lots of energy, just fun, just sweet. She was just a sweet, like if there was, the world was always her stage. So whether there was a real stage or not, it didn't make a difference. It was just like, I am here. I'm ready for my audience. I'm ready to perform. She was always a performer.
Oh, that's so
always
cute.
lots of great energy, excited. Just, yeah.
Was it always like dance? Like, was it always dance performing, or was she just like walked into the room and she's like,
Yeah, always like had that diva energy, like, but not in an obnoxious way, but just like, world, I have arrived. Like, it's like it's my time. Yeah, she was always like that. And so whether she was dressing up, don't let there be a microphone, because my husband does events a lot for community, because he's in community service.
Okay.
And so there are a lot of speeches, and if she was around, she was like right there, like, hand me the microphone. So
she's like, I'm ready.
I'm ready for my close-up.
So do you remember that a little bit?
I remember a little bit. I've always loved like performing and dancing, or like to whatever extent. But I also was like kind of quiet too, though.
Okay.
Like I definitely was like a lot of energy, but I also was just kind of quiet as well.
It's funny because I feel like I can relate to that in a way. When I was like really young, I was like a ball of fire, and then middle school came around, and I feel like I kind of like went into my shell just a little bit, because then you start like being a little self-conscious about, oh, like what are other people saying about me, and those things start to affect you a little bit.
I definitely think that when you get older, it's like, oh, let me be a little quieter, let me be
a little bit more shy.
Yeah, let me be a little more mysterious.
It's funny though, I wish that like from a young age I always kept that. Because I feel like I have that a little bit more now than I did maybe when I was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
But I feel like I wish I just, always had that little like spunk.
That's a bit of like child energy.
Yes.
I feel like when you're Bix's energy. Child energy. I don't know. But I agree. I was like,
she was always sassy.
I was always sassy. Always a little sassy.
Now, did you get that from your mom? Do you feel like you had the same energy as her when she was younger? Or when you were younger?
I don't think I was. I think I was really more reserved, a very quiet child.
Okay.
Very so I was like always tall, so awkward in that way, whereas Nia was always more on the petite side. And she grew up with two brothers. So she was the middle child, only girl. She could hold her own with two boys, and she was like in it, like wrestling with them too.
Oh,
so
nice girl.
I'm like daddy's little girl. Like I'm princess of the family. So
and you're like, and I'll always.
It's always felt that way.
And you're like, and it will always be that way.
I will always be that way.
Wait, so how tall are you?
I'm 6 feet.
Oh my gosh.
I'm 6 feet tall.
Okay.
Tall queen.
Dang, go ahead.
Yes.
And how tall is your dad?
He's 5'11".
Okay.
5'11" and a half. I'll give him his half inch.
Okay.
I always when people ask, I'm like, oh, like they're both 6 feet, but in reality, I'm like, he probably is like a little shorter.
He's a little shorter. He's a little shorter.
That's so cute. Wait, and how tall are you, Nia?
I'm 5'6". I say I'm 5'6". I'm technically 5'5" and 3/4.
Okay.
But I come across much taller than I am.
I feel like you're a tall girl.
Yeah. Every time I get measured, I'm always like, I always ask the doctor, I'm like, you sure? I'm like,
I feel like they're never accurate.
Also, I feel like they're probably not, like, they're never accurate, but I'm like, are you sure? And they're always like, yeah. But when it's weird. When I'm like, when you see me, I look tall. Like, I look tall. I present tall.
You do.
But if I were, like, stand next to another person that you would think is short, like, you then, like, measure our heads, and you're like, wait, you are the same. I give tall energy.
Yes,
I do.
Yes.
I think I get that from you. And I also think it's because my posture as well is kind of good. I don't know. I feel like I stand like this
she stands
a lot.
high.
I stand proud. I stand tall. So I feel like I like have my chin up almost a lot, and like I feel like my posture is really good from dance.
Okay.
So I think that
makes
might
sense.
have like a factor in
That
it
makes
as well.
sense. I wish I had that because I always slouch. I'm like hunched over
No,
the microphone.
Don't slouch. Be
I
proud.
know. Me at the nail salon, I'm like bent over. Like if someone takes a picture of me, I'm like, I would be so like if Malia like got a little side pick at me, I'd be like, no, that's not me.
You're like,
that's...
you got to delete that.
Yeah, you're done.
That cannot go anywhere.
Go into recently deleted and delete it again because no. Okay, the next question that I have for you guys. Did you, before Dance Moms, did you think that she would like thrive in reality TV?
To be honest with you, I never, like, I watch reality TV just to watch. Like, I love reality TV. I've always loved watching reality TV. It's fun. It's a guilty pleasure. But never in a zillion years did I ever think I would be on reality TV or Nia. Like, that was, like, for other people. Like, that's, like, for crazy, wild people. Like, we're quiet. I was like, we're quiet. I'm a school teacher, principal. Like, there's no way she was. I could see Nia on Broadway. Like, for me, that would be something. I could definitely see her performing on Broadway. Not a question. When she was older, out of school, definitely. I could see her doing something like that. But on reality TV, no.
So that's never something that you envisioned?
No.
Okay.
My mom was a school teacher. She was a principal.
Right.
Yes,
Dang.
Yeah.
And then everything just kind of like flipped.
Yeah, it's changed.
Flipped.
It really is kind of like a fluke. Like, genuinely.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
That's actually wild.
Yeah.
Oh
It was
my
never like, I think there are some people who come into the industry with a vision, like that's what they want to do.
Right.
And like that's like their
There was no
road to it.
vision.
Like, but no.
Wow.
We're from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, stuff like that doesn't really happen over there,
No.
you know?
Right. So you gave just kind of like a on accident type of thing. But
Honestly.
sometimes
I feel
those
like
are
that's
like the
the
most
best.
beautiful like
Yeah.
circumstances.
That's really
honestly.
cool.
Yeah.
That's so
It definitely is.
It was a fluke.
Yeah, it really was.
It was a
Well, I remember like even like when we had like the beginning, just like interview stages with the show, like because it was like an audition where you just like went in for like an interview with your mother, and I like forced my mom to like do it with me, and she was like, finally they were like, okay, fine, whatever, and I did it. On the way home, she was like, just so you know, you're not gonna get this. And, like
Debbie Downer.
no, but like because like in Pittsburgh, that's like crazy. That does not happen. That's literally like it's a hoax. You know,
Right.
like it's not like that's not real. Ended up being
And
real,
you're
but
right.
she was just like, we're just too boring.
Oh my
Yeah,
That was my idea. I didn't think we would. And you know, you want to encourage your kids' dreams, but then you also you have to be realistic too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. She didn't want to get my hopes up. You know.
Right,
But then here you are now.
Yeah. Well, I was like, well, who would watch a reality show about a dance studio in Pittsburgh? Like, if you were to hear that as the premise, like, really, like, like it doesn't even sound real. Like, who would watch that?
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because
random.
it took place in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Because that was actually going to be one of our questions.
Oh, really?
Was like how it all came about. Like, did you see a flyer and you're like,
Oh, you could tell.
yeah. Did you see a flyer?
I honestly can't even remember. Was there a flyer? I feel
There
like there was a
was.
flyer.
In the
And then I
dance
like
studio.
went home
Mhm.
and it was like, Mom, Dad, we didn't even know what it was. It wasn't even, it was just supposed to be like a documentary or something. It wasn't even supposed to be like a reality show.
Huh.
I didn't even really know what it was, but it was some kind of opportunity. I was like, Mom, Dad, we gotta try out. And my parents were at first were like, no, like that's not real, honey, you know. But like I asked them a few times, and I think like after like the third time I asked about it, I was like please, like let's do it. Other girls are doing it from the studio. My parents were like, yeah, whatever. Like what? Like they're just like, okay, it's like something silly, like nothing will come of it,
Right.
kind of thing. Like it's just they were just like, okay, whatever, we'll do this like audition if you want us to. And like I'm being so serious. Like it was like the most like
Totally random.
like so random.
And it was one of those things. My husband and I were like, we don't want to go through life like what if. Like she wanted to do. She asked us like 3 times on different occasions to do this because the flyer had been up for a while, and other people had been doing it and sending us self tapes and all that, whatever. And we're like, I was working on my doctorate at the time and working full. It was just like one of those things, like one more thing, and it's so ridiculous, but she really wanted to do it. So we're like, okay, let's do it. And how much I did not believe it was real, I let her do her own makeup.
Oh yes.
Oh
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
My mom did not care at all. So she was just
Not
like,
at all.
like not at all.
She's like, you do your own thing, girl.
She literally, and I was like, I want to do my makeup, and she was like, go for it.
She's like, slay.
Yeah.
I'm going to find
go queen.
I'm
Enjoy.
going to find this picture for you guys.
I need to see it.
Oh, I have it on my phone, and I'm like 9 years old, glitter.
Oh my
all over my face, bright
my
pink
gosh.
lipstick and glitter all over my face. I was like, I have to wear a crown. I wore a crown, right? I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure I
you
wore a
did.
crown.
You
That's
did.
This is why you got the gig, because they were like, she's clearly a queen. We need her on the show.
But like what my mom was saying before, like me like being like diva, like that's me. I'm like Sparkle's crown.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my god, I love it. So okay, setting the scene. So you're walking in. So okay, wait, you already knew Abby then.
Yeah,
she was
I had been
already
on the
your
dance
dance teacher.
studio.
Okay,
yeah.
so you've known her for a while.
Yeah, I had been at the studio since I was 3 years
Yeah.
old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Have you always wanted, like, and dreamt of being a professional dancer?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be like, I've always wanted to be a performer of some sort. So, I mean, as long as I can remember, it was like Broadway. Like that's what I wanted to do. Like before the show even happened, like I saw myself on Broadway. That was like the big thing. Like, because a lot of girls from the studio ended up going, or males too, like they went on Broadway, and I just thought that was like the coolest thing ever. I've always loved it. My family has taken me to Broadway shows since I was like little, and I've always loved them. So that was like my thing. Also kind of like Cirque du Soleil for like a little bit, because when I was little I used to be really flexible, so I was like, oh, I could do this. But then once you get older, you're like, oh my gosh, this hurts my body so bad. You're like, no thank you. Like, no thank you.
Okay.
My back bed hurts. You know, like I can't do that anymore.
My new dream is now
anymore.
seeing you in Broadway.
I know, I was gonna say, is that still a dream of yours?
Oh, it's never not been my dream. I still want to do it so bad. I've done an off-Broadway show before. I did that when I was like 15, and that is still the best experience work-wise of my entire life. Like I stand by that. That's like
incredible.
the best thing ever. So I'm like really excited to, you know, like once I finish up school and like get my feet kind of like on the ground to like focus on other things like Broadway.
Oh, well, so how much longer of school do you have?
I'm a senior, so
Oh my gosh, dude, that's awesome.
So in June, I will be done, and I will have a degree.
Oh
and
my
I'm really excited.
Can we give a round of
for
applause?
that.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, proud mom over here.
I'm so excited for her.
I'm really
Really.
excited. Honestly,
Yeah.
I didn't even think I would finish in 4 years, just because I'm always kind of like traveling and working still and just doing all these other projects. But I'm really happy I've been able to like balance it with school. I've had to like pull back a lot on work stuff, but I've still been able to do like a lot of really cool things while I've been in school.
That's
so it's been
awesome.
really cool.
I mean, your time management skills must be 10 out of 10, because
Yeah.
I could imagine even just like the trips and stuff for like, even when we first met you at the Keels trip, like,
Yeah,
that obviously
influencing,
takes
like stuff like
time.
Yeah, and I was in
To
school
maneuver.
during that.
Okay,
That's what I'm
oh my
saying.
goodness.
We
Yeah.
like got back to the hotel and you're like typing up
It was
away.
crazy because I'm on a dance team at school as well.
Okay.
And I remember we were coming back on a Thursday, I think. We were leaving on a Thursday from that trip. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to get in time to still go to dance later that night. So as soon as I landed, I went straight to dance.
No
So I
way.
could be with my dance team. So like it is like a lot of balancing, and it's a lot of back and forth. Like I feel I'm always like going from place to place. So I always have to like plan out if there's like a trip or like an event or something. I have
Right.
to like kind of plan things out, which is nice that we have, you know, the syllabus, so you can kind of see like when you have tests, when there's midterms. I try to scale back. But for some reason, whenever I have like midterms or like finals, that's when
The really cool stuff
that's
happens.
when the really cool stuff happens. So yeah, but
You're like, of
it's-
course, great timing.
Yeah.
Right. But it's actually really funny though sometimes, because some of the things I get to do are like really cool. Like I've gotten to go to the White House a couple times.
I saw
Yes,
that.
I've
That's
met
so cool.
Super cool.
I've met the vice president, I've met the president, and it's so funny when I'm emailing my professors because I'm like, they're never gonna believe me. You know, like they're not
so sorry. Due to me meeting Joe Biden, I'm actually not gonna be able to come in today.
I'm gonna miss our lecture on how the civilization of X, Y, and Z came about. I'm actually
imagine getting that email from a student.
Right, exactly. Right.
You're like, right.
That is just as crazy as there's going to be a reality TV show in
Right.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Like,
Sure. The dog ate your homework is what I'm hearing.
Yes. Yes.
That's hilarious.
So I'm like, when I write those, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to tell them what it is, but I'm like, but I have to tell them because I'm like, this is the reason why I'm missing. Like, it's important. But sometimes like, maybe I just we'll leave it out. But I'm like, but that sounds kind of sketchy if I leave it out. They're like, oh, she's just missing. But I'm like, no.
You're like, there's a good reason.
There's a good reason.
You're like, I have the receipts. Check my Instagram. I was with Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
and
right.
watch my story. Go watch my story real quick. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's so cute. Oh my gosh.
Oh, also like this. I mean, not so funny, but like last year, like unfortunately, my grandfather passed away,
Yeah.
and it was during.
Sorry
Thank you. And it was during our fall quarter, and my professor, like, and I told them, I was like, hey, I'm gonna miss school because, you know, I've had a death in the family, so I'll be gone for just like a few days.
Right.
And he was like it was fine. It was kind of like whatever. But like when I emailed him about like me meeting the president, like going to the White House and meeting the president, he was like, oh, that's great, take your time. Like what, you gave me more of a response.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh my god. And then
Yeah,
like a
you
tragedy
remember that? I do
happened.
remember
and I
that.
was like, this is a better response than like what.
That's wild. You're
Yeah.
just like, I'm taking notes in the brain.
Right? I'm like, okay, I see what really matters.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Interesting.
He gave you condolences, but he was really very impressed with your
Yes.
Wow.
going to the White House.
Interesting.
With Joe Biden.
Dang.
Yeah.
He was like the tragedy. He's like,
He's probably used to that. He's probably like,
yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm sure a
Yeah.
lot of people maybe use that as an excuse.
I'm sure.
too.
I'm sure people do.
But still, like that's interesting.
Yeah. I have seen a tweet from like a professor who said he had more deaths of grandparents for his 9 a.m. class. And then he switched the time to a lot of time. Like, suddenly the grandparents were okay. But I guess people use that as an excuse.
no.
I think people actually do
Wow.
use that.
Yeah.
Or like
Oh my God,
my
wild.
great aunt, you know.
Yeah.
You're like, hopefully you don't send that email twice.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, you said that like 2
exactly.
weeks ago.
Oh no. 2 weeks ago.
That's crazy.
When you're desperate as a student, I guess anything
I
goes.
guess. I don't know.
I
Can't
just thought that she
relate.
actually went to school because for the longest time, we weren't sure if she was going to go to school. So the fact that she
Yeah.
decided to continue on.
Yeah. What kind of made
good.
you make that decision?
So I've always wanted to go to college. Like that was always a goal of mine. So it wasn't like I was not ever going to go to school, but right after or my senior year of high school, when I was like applying to colleges, I was like really, really stressed because I was working, but then I was also just like, I don't know. It's your senior year. You don't really know what you want to do. And I don't know. I was by myself in LA at the time because I forgot what I was even doing. Was I working on
Bold? You had just finished Bold and Beautiful?
maybe that's what it was? I can't even remember what I was working on, but something. And I was out here and I was trying to do these applications and I was just like, I don't know, like I was just getting stressed out. So I texted my mom, I was like, hey, I'm getting really stressed. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to apply, whatever. And she was like, okay, well, just finish applying to the places that you started to do. And then let's just take a gap year. She's like, take a gap year so you can relax. You can focus on yourself. You can travel if you want to, whatever. So I finished up my application to UCLA because that was the only one I started with. And I finished that up and I applied to just like 3 UC schools because it's like easy. You just like click on all the ones you want to apply to and you send the same thing to all of them. And then that was it. And I was like, I didn't think anything of it. I just sent it off. And a few months later, COVID happened.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to go to school now because we're literally in a global pandemic.
Right.
But then my parents asked me, they're like, did you ever even hear back from UCLA? I was like, you know what? I haven't checked my email in like how long? I open up my
Months had gone by.
Like, yeah.
That's hysterical. Went over my head.
Literally, like, I wasn't even thinking about it because my mind was already pretty much made up. I was like, I'm just going to take a gap year. Like,
Right.
that was it. But then I opened up my email and I was like, wait, I think I got in.
Hey, boo.
And they were like, you think you got in? Like, and my brothers were like, there's no way. I showed them my phone.
And you were like, wait, actually,
After dinner
And I was
table,
like,
I also think
and I
so.
literally was like, I think I got in. It's like, says congratulations, but I'm like, I think I got in.
They're like, let me see that.
Yeah, my brother's like, let me see that. Let me show them. I'm like, wow, she got in. I can't believe it.
You're like,
yeah.
best believe. Something's like,
Yes.
Oh my god. Princess of the family.
Yeah, I'm like, But after
Brothers keep her
that,
humble.
Yes. Oh my god. For sure. But yeah, after that, I was like, okay, this is a really great school. I was like, I'm not gonna not go. And my Nana called me later that night and she was like, you have to go. You're going. She's like, people take gap years to travel. And she's like, you've already traveled. You can go. And I was like, you got a point. So I ended up just going straight out of high school,
Just
which was
full
nice.
sending it?
But it was all online the first year.
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And look at you now. You're almost done.
I'm
I know.
almost done.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Ooh. Hey. I'm like, that's
I
so
know.
cool.
So many things.
Yeah, it is.
You're like, it's a lot. You're like,
a lot.
There's no other way to say that.
It really has been like the best experience though. I'm
Good.
so glad I went. It's been really like fulfilling. I've like healed my heart with dance and everything as well because I like do a little dance team on campus. I'm like helping to run it this year, so like it's
Okay.
like my baby.
I always see your stories on Instagram.
Thanks.
Yes,
Yeah.
I see what's going on. Oh my gosh. On reality TV, I feel like there were probably a lot of times that y'all were stressed, like high emotions. How did you guys always keep yourself so poised? Like literally,
Like both of you
I'm
guys
saying
are so mature.
so mature, so respectful, and from such a young age too. Incredible. But Dr. Holly,
She
I'm
really
serious.
kept it together.
I'm serious. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm watching this. I'm like, I would have said something that I would have.
Yeah, I was like, how do you keep yourself together
It's
in that
so
moment
easy
when
to
you're
say
heated?
something that you'll regret
gosh.
later.
Literally.
It was really hard. So yes, definitely you're put in positions where you're reacting quickly. And I guess for me, I always pray before I got on set for clarity, speech and mind, because you need it. But I also remembered that my family's watching this. My kids are watching me, my parents, my husband, and I have to set a good example. I don't want to do something that I would later regret. And by no means was I ever perfect. And there were definitely times I was on the show and I did not think I was as poised as I could have been.
And you're also a principal too.
And I was a principal, and my students were going to watch it, and my
that's
faculty
true.
and their parents. I mean, I had a lot of eyes on me.
Right.
And also as a Black woman, I think sometimes people were expecting this trope of being an angry Black woman. And I didn't want to become that example or become
Right.
that stereotype that people equate or just assumed I would go there.
Right.
And I also just wanted to be me. I just wanted to be me. And that's how I would resolve a situation in real life, because that's, as a principal, that's how I resolve conflict. That's how I talk. That's how I behave. That's how I think. And so I've just, that's.
It came through. It came through throughout every season, honestly, because I was watching some clips. I wanted to watch some clips with you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If that's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
No, I mean, we have a little bit of time.
Oh, okay,
Just do a
okay.
You
few.
guys are like an iconic duo, though.
No,
Like,
seriously.
was there any time, because I know things got heated a lot, was there any time where you both wanted to kind of quit, or was one person like, I don't know if I can do this, or...
Well, we had contracts, honestly,
Yeah.
so it's really hard to get out of a contract, and we had like a 7-year contract.
Oh, wow.
But I don't know. I feel like there were times where it got really hard,
Right.
but I knew that there were a lot of people there that didn't want me there, so that made me want to stay.
Yeah.
So
So that was kind of fueling you?
yeah,
The motivation.
Yeah, there were a lot of people that I just knew like really did not want me there, so that made me want to stay to prove them wrong.
Oh my gosh, I'm wrong. That literally will fuel the fire, though.
Yeah,
Literally.
And I don't think everyone understands that. Like, they don't get that. That can really make you motivate you.
And my mom, I think more than any, like literally my parents are the best parents ever. Like, they literally, like, every season when things got bad, they would always ask me, they're like, do you want to stay? Do you want to leave? I mean, it's like, it's so hard to get out of a contract, but they're like, if we need to, we will. And they honestly just kind of always took my lead, and I was like, it's fine, like, I'm gonna finish what I started.
Wow.
Dang, so y'all just had it in you. Y'all just had it in you.
Even as like a young girl too.
That's because
that's so cool though. That's like inspiring though.
That really is, especially for all the younger girls that are watching. Like, that is incredible.
There was so much that went on.
Yeah,
so much, and so much hasn't been seen. So.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
also that
behind the cameras. Even like, did the producers ever like kind of want you to say certain things, and you're like,
all
like,
the time.
I wouldn't say that
all
normally.
All the time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we would get in interviews, and the producer's like, okay, say this, and I'm like, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say something else, but I will not say that. Yeah, people try to put words in your mouth, and when we were little, I feel like they would get away with that a little bit more because we, we're like 9 years old. They're like, say this, and you're like, oh, okay. And you say, and you're like, and the moms are like, you said what? And we're like,
girl, what are you doing? You're in a room by yourself with the producer.
Right,
my God. Hey, could you like say this person did this? And you're like,
oh my God.
Yeah. Literally at 9 years old, we're all very impressionable.
Extremely.
I mean, wow. And then you have so many eyes on you too, because everybody in the world is watching this show.
It's hard. It's hard as a parent. And I'm a mom first and foremost, I'm a mom. And then having your child, parenting in a fishbowl is hard because everyone has like their opinions of you as a parent.
Right.
And then watching your child grow up in front of not just America, but internationally, where everyone is watching her literally grow up before their eyes. And everyone has opinions about her shape, her size, her hair, like every little thing is every little thing, her dancing, everything is being scrutinized, the way you speak.
Right.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a little girl. And
let
you're
her
like,
live.
let her live. Stop tearing her apart.
And that would be a lot for any age, but especially like growing up as a little girl on a television show. Like, how was that? Like, dealing with people commenting and all of those things.
I think it really just prepared me for like how social media is now, I feel like that's it really did prepare me for that, because it's so easy for me to, not always easy, but it really is easy for me to like brush things off now, or like I see a comment, I'm like,
whatever.
Haven't seen that one before. Like, be a little more creative next time. Like
the 1,000th time I've seen that.
Yeah. So I feel like it was good like preparation for like the world that I'm in now. But I mean, it was hard, but I had really good people surrounding me. Like my family, like they helped me throughout everything. Like my brothers, my parents, my grandparents. Like I had a really good support group, and I probably would not come out this way if I didn't. So
you can really tell though. I feel like your guys' dynamic, like your mom was there if something happened to you, or like the other girls too, or even like some of the other moms. Dr. Holly's gonna come in and
Mama Bear comes out.
It is funny.
Not too much. Mama Bear doesn't come out too much. I'm like, but just enough.
Yeah. Just to remind you, she's there.
Exactly.
I'm not going to bite, but I'm going to let you know I am still here. And it's funny because I forget, because we filmed so many episodes over 7 seasons that there are a lot of things I do forget. And then people will play clips on like TikTok and on social media, and I'll watch. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot that. And I'm so, and sometimes I give myself a little pat on the back, like, you did stick up for so-and-so, even when they didn't stick up for you. And that's the thing, like, I still stay true to who I was, regardless of how, like, other people are going to be shady or low, whatever. You just got to remember to be you. That's it. Right. And people are like, how did you do it? I'm like, I stay true to myself. And as long as you stay true to yourself, regardless of the edit or whatever else, because I have no control of the editing. We don't see the show before it gets aired. Right. I just, like, I stand by who I am and my word. But I will, for me, it was important as a teacher to stand up for other kids. It's very hard to have other kids see those things. Right. So it was always like, okay, if something's crazy's happening, kids have to get out of the room. So that was awesome. They cannot witness too much crazy.
One moment. Yes. I have like some very short clips that I wanted to play for you guys.
Oh, okay.
And what I wanted to ask is if you could just, like, when you react to it, like the very first word, that comes to your brain after.
Oh, okay.
So like just the first like initial reaction.
Okay.
Okay. We have a few.
Okay.
No, I'm entitled to have my opinion.
And I'm entitled to my... Why are you entitled, Holly, and not me?
You're entitled to your wrong opinion. That's fine.
Bam.
I use that all the time now. Like, seriously. I think that's one of my favorite things you have ever said. Like, that is just like such a savage moment.
Iconic.
Like, it's iconic.
I
Like,
still stand by that.
Like,
Yes.
said so little, but like shut her down immediately. Like,
She was just like,
how can you come back from that? You can't.
I actually saw, I think that there was like a mug with that saying on it.
No way.
No, I'm serious. I think
Wait, seriously? Yeah, she's like, wait, that's my mug. I said that.
Who made that mug? Send it to me.
Okay, I'm gonna go back because I looked up that exact. I was trying to find what season it was from and what episode.
It was like
And
season 3. Or
that
something
was
like
our idea. Was what if we like played these and then asked you guys like what season it was from? But I couldn't find each season.
I feel like I would not be able to.
I don't know.
do that.
It's a
You
blur.
probably would. I could not.
But I was like, initial reaction, first word. That works
Yeah.
too.
I do remember that day. I was so mad.
Your mad looks different than my mad. That's all I want to say.
I was like, you handled that so well, but like you said exactly what needed to be said.
I'm trying to be like you.
And it's funny because people think that stuff is scripted. Like, it's unscripted. Like, you never know what's coming out of mouth.
I'm quick with it. That's all I have to say.
She always reminds people she's from the Bronx, so
That is true.
yeah,
That's true.
That is true.
she does.
Okay, I got another clip for you guys.
So, for the first time, Nia is on top of the pyramid.
It's been a long time coming. I didn't think I would ever live to see this day.
You were on top of this pyramid because of your hard work and your determination all week long. To me, that's sometimes more important than any trophy, and you shined. Your mother isn't always here, but she does make sure that you're here. And you can see the improvement.
I'm very happy I'm on the top of the pyramid this week. Yay.
That's so funny. I don't think I'd ever see. That's so funny. That's actually so. I never thought I would live to see today.
Oh, that was so sad.
It didn't seem like you were saying that in a bad way, though. It was
No, it wasn't like a bad way. It was just
like
like
Abby finally wasn't picking like her favorite, you know? Like that's
Yeah.
how I took it. But
No, it's just.
well, after
I
a
truly
while,
didn't think
like
it.
I just like after a while, I didn't even care about being on the top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
Like I got so used to the bottom, I was like, it's fine.
Yeah. And then there were times like she didn't even know why you were at the bottom. So
Yeah, there were.
point.
That was so funny. The times where she'd be like, Nia, well, actually, you didn't do anything. You were fine, but you had to, someone has to be there.
what? And you're like, oh, no
yeah.
critiques, but everyone
You're like, all right,
All
cool.
right.
Yeah.
I'll take my spot. Proud.
But the joy, but when O'Malley did make it to the top, it was a joyous thing. Like,
Yeah.
wow, that was a big moment.
No,
That was
You're
the
so
first time.
excited.
I'm sure I was very
So
excited. And I think the
excited.
other girls were very excited.
They were.
too.
That's what the little
Yeah,
screaming was.
yeah,
It
everyone
was
kind of gathered
Everyone
around
gave me
you.
a hug. Yeah,
I
I
remember
remember
that.
that.
Cute though.
Look how excited your face was.
Yeah.
Cute.
That's so wholesome.
Yeah, well, not only did my mom couldn't see the day, I don't think anyone else really saw the day coming either. So
Oh my god.
America was surprised. Everyone was
It was so cute that everyone was happy for you though.
Yeah.
You know?
The whole
that
little
was a
group
good
hug, everyone was
moment.
like jumping. I was like, yes.
it's very
Nia,
cute.
Nia got what she deserved.
She did.
Got what she deserved.
She did.
Okay, last little one. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Okay.
Uh-oh, I'm a little worried.
You think you're up here because you have a doctorate and everybody else is
That's
down
your
here.
problem, Abby. You were intimidated by me because I got a doctor.
Bull.
Oh, Abby, don't be ignorant.
Please. That's it. No. Then.
Yep, that was right by the front desk. And, yeah, we were having it. Yeah. And she was. I think that was part of my. There were a lot of reasons for our disconnect, but I stand on my credentials, and like you cannot take away my credentials. As much as you might want to chip away, you could talk about my clothes, my size, whatever you want, or how I pronounce a word. I still am. I'm just like run circles around you in an argument because you do not make sense. And that was it. Like what your logic and what you're trying to explain why certain kids can't have certain experiences. It just didn't make sense. It was illogical. And she's a teacher and she's a head of a school. And I'm like, I am a teacher and an educator and head of a school. So I do know good pedagogy. And I do know when there's good teaching and there's bad teaching. And I know when something's fair is not fair. But yeah, she was definitely, that's why I was so, and it's not necessarily about education, about having a degree. It's about just knowing who you are and just being educated and to think critically for yourself and ask questions. Like, you don't need a degree to do that and to be educated, and no one can take that away from you. That's why I'm like such a big advocate for education.
Yeah. Well, that's why, like, that's part of the reason why I've always wanted to go to school as well, because my mom, like, has always told me, like, no one can take away your education. Like, that's something no one can take away from you.
Right.
You know? And I'm like, I stand by it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it. No one can take away class and poise.
That is true.
That is also very true.
That's true. And that was also something else that was very intimidating too, because we were coming from a class that I don't think she was prepared for. And she was just like, wow, what do I do with this woman, with this family who is not going to be intimidated by me, who's, you can try to threaten me with this. I do not care.
Right.
I do not need it. It's yeah. And certain types of class, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, exactly. And she was scared a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah, she was scared.
You can tell by the way she raised her voice.
Yeah.
She was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh,
she didn't have anything else to say.
I know. I was
like,
what's
that's
she's
all
like,
of that. That's what you say.
Go look at the scripts.
What am I supposed to say? Actually, not bull. Let's fact check really quick.
Yeah,
not bull. Oh my gosh, you guys.
This was so much fun.
Thank you so much for coming on.
I wish we had more time. But I do have one last question for you.
Sure.
Yeah. We ask all of our guests this, but what's one piece of big sis advice you would give your younger self? So I guess I'll ask both of you guys.
That's a good question, actually.
That is. Oh my gosh, my younger self. You don't have to have everything figured out. I think sometimes people feel like they have to have their whole lives scripted and figured out, and give yourself grace. Because you're not going to get everything right all of the time, and allow yourself the opportunity to make mistakes, to learn from them, to grow from them, and to move forward. But just don't be so hard on yourself. I think sometimes we're just entirely too hard on ourselves because we think we have to have everything figured out and comparing it to everybody else's life, and you only have your life that you have to be responsible for. So
that's so good.
I'm gonna use that in my own life. I was like, that's so true. That's so true. Oh my gosh.
I feel like there's so much I would tell my younger self, but I think, like, just everything's gonna be okay, you know? Because I think, like, growing up, like, I think it doesn't really, you could be on a show, you could not be on a show, you could just be a normal kid growing up, you know, out of school. Yeah. But I think kids should know, like, everything's gonna be okay, you know? I think I would just tell myself that.
I think that's the beauty of being a child, is, like, your parents are there to protect you, and, like, you're gonna make mistakes along the way. And I'm even hard on my younger self too, is like, dang, I wish I didn't do that at 14 years old. It's like, I was a kid, and, like, I'm gonna make mistakes, and I'm 20 now, and I'm still gonna make mistakes, but life's gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep learning and progressing, and I feel like that's the beauty of life.
Yeah, that's the point of it. People make mistakes.
That's it.
All the time.
Well, and lean into your imperfections. Like, it's okay to be imperfect, and you have to have a sense of humor.
Also, laugh at yourself. Yeah.
Oh, I laugh at myself all the time.
All the time.
You have to.
Yeah,
you have to.
It just makes the situation better.
You know? Yeah, like, just don't be too serious. Like, you can't. There's enough serious stuff
it's never that deep.
It's never that deep.
Life is so much better with laughter too. Like, it just makes life fun.
It does.
Lighthearted.
Is there anything you guys want to, like, announce? Tell the audience. Tell the people.
Any socials?
No, I don't have. I wish I had something really exciting to announce. I have nothing.
You could just give them your Instagram. You're like, hey, follow me on Instagram.
I guess
that's exciting.
Plug Instagram.
Oh, of course. I mean, I post mostly on Instagram. I do have TikTok, but I'm not verified on it because I don't.
I think she's only posted like 3 videos.
Yeah, 3 videos. But I follow and I comment on people's stuff, and they never think it's really me. They're like, "That's not the real Dr. Holly."
Well, she doesn't post.
And you're like, "Actually, it is."
I'm like, "Okay."
Oh my gosh, wait, I have to follow you. I don't think I follow you yet.
Well, I don't have anything on TikTok worth following. I have like 3 videos. One's with an empty chair, and 2 others with my dog or something.
Oh my god!
My Instagram is Dr. Holly, so very easy.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
That's pretty much it.
I'm in the same boat. I just my socials are just like my name. It's Nia Sioux.
Well, we'll also link all of their socials down below.
Yes, so you guys can go check them out. Give them a follow if you don't already follow them.
Of course, and you guys can follow us on Big Sis Energy with 2 Ys on Instagram and on TikTok.
Yes, and you can listen on Apple and Spotify.
Yay. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for the invitation. It was so much fun. This was forever. This was so
I know
nice.
this was fun.
It was really fun.
Thank you guys. See you next week's episode.
Bye.